I got bit on the forehead, so I don't know. The mosquitoes was going fucking crazy. But hi, hello. Um, I just wanted to chit chat. I think I've been scared for far too long, and while I now understand the whys and the ins and outs of um those reasons or the reasons that I felt that way, um I'm working on acting, and I want to act and still remain true to who I am and not act to act, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to, I don't know, have to to achieve the things that I want to, but I know that there's a give and take and a push and pull to everything. Um, and I wanted to say, I just got back from a damn near 4 hour trip, road trip, coming from my sister's graduation. Um, but in that time, I I'm just gonna be honest. For a hot minute now, I've kind of been carrying this feeling of unworthiness surrounding my art career because taking out the years that I was grieving, um, these past maybe 2 years, I feel like I've been really feeling the weight of me not acting. Because it's not to say that I can't do these things, but I feel like I've been putting myself in a box of like, oh well, if I don't just give in and do this, I won't get anything. And I don't think that that's true. And I think also too the weight of just outer things like society, the world, and what is like commonly seen to do, whether it is in a creative field or not. Because that's another thing. Like, you think that when you enter a creative field, it's just free, and there's a lot of rules and do's and don'ts, and this is how you should do it, and this is how you should, and then if you don't do it this way, you don't get shit. And I don't believe that that's true. One thing that my art teacher always said was learn the rules so you can break them. And at the time, like everybody says, I didn't really understand. Not everybody. I didn't really understand it to the level that he was probably trying to really get it into my head. And honestly, I think I'm just scared that nobody's gonna care because there's so many things out here. And I feel like because I did not, I guess, act more in the past, that I think that I've lost my chance, if that makes sense. Like, I had a TikTok for a very long time. And before that, okay, Instagram. I remember like posting like I was gonna do like drawing every day, and I got some support, but I ended up stopping because I was embarrassed, and I felt like I was not getting the appreciation that I deserved, but I also wasn't thinking at the time about the people that I was surrounding myself with via socially on the internet. And um I stopped doing that, and I feel like then I became kind of self-absorbed in the way in which of like, okay, well, if that me isn't received, let's try a different me, which isn't me, bitch. And that didn't work either. But I like when I first started TikTok, I remember posting some of my art, and which that was my first like viral video, and it was a piece from college that I had did. Girl, that I don't even think I turned in. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Um, but after that, after that, I I got scared. I had posted some other artwork, but truly it was rushed. Like it did not have the same passion and I guess story, if you will. And after that failed video, the second one failed. Um, I just started posting any old thing that was popular at the time, which was like skits and the little dances and everything. And I did not know of a way to channel my art through there until a lot later when it became more of like a blog form kind of thing. So, um, and when that transition happened, I was kind of lost because I had gotten so stuck in this other fake me that I was so detached from myself. And then there was a lot of things going on in my life at that point in time. Like, I had freshly ran away, and I'm gonna be frank, that's what the fuck I did. And then, not too long after that, my dad passed. So, with all that happening within the same year, mentally fried, grief rise, fucking fried, physically fried, I felt really overwhelmed, and I feel like I got stuck in that overwhelming feeling for the next year, like for another whole year. And I didn't have the skills that I have now to cope. Um, and I hate to say it, but I do feel like I didn't do enough back then. But I want to give myself some grace because I can't go back and change that. I really can't. And I know what I was going through at that point in time. I just, I don't know if I fucked myself by not acting. And I think I don't want this to be like like, cheer up and do your thing. But no, really, like, this is what happens when you don't. You get stuck in this loop of not knowing if you're doing enough, and then it turns into, am I good enough? And I think even within this last year, that's where I was at, but kind of coming out of that. And because I came out of that, this whole debacle with TikTok being fucking militarized, if you will, bitch, I don't give a fuck. Or taken over at this rate, I deleted my TikTok. I had made a new one and was doing well on that. And then even my old one, I had just stripped everything off of it. And even within that time, I had started kind of just in the best way I know how, like, not giving a fuck and posting, but I gave a fuck about what I was posting, but it really wasn't me. Um, Art is me, bitch. And I felt like I wasn't showcasing that enough in terms of in my mind as an artist. Like, everything I do is artistic. And it's kind of hard for me to it's like the art brain don't never turn off, really. Like, it'll go in a rest mode, but the minute I'm intrigued, she's back on. And I was not showcasing that enough, in the means of, like, so that people understood the artist behind the work. And even now, since then, that was like December, January, February, March, April, May. It's been 5 months. And safe to say, I have transitioned over to YouTube. I do have 20 subscribers, which I am excited about, but I still feel like I'm not being myself. And I just don't want to keep doing that. Like, I've seen what not being myself can do and what kind of life I lived when I wasn't being true to myself. And I hated every fucking second of it. And I don't want to relive that, but I also don't want to do it at the expense of mm, my personal morals on things. And so, yeah. I say all that to say is that if you feel the same way, sit with it. You'll and really think like, no, this isn't an inspiration. I'm just letting y'all know what's going on in my mind and how I feel right now. So maybe this will push me to just post more and more and more. I'm sitting on a lot of videos and I don't like that. And the only other thing to do about it is to let them be seen, heard, felt, and understood by others. And I think too, like, growing up, like, I lacked connection, not because I wanted to, but because I just wasn't normal. And I think that impacts me a lot too in terms of my art, obviously, as it would, sort of, kind of, in the sense that, like, I didn't have the skills to cope or to deeply understand myself, and so I was just left to be confused a lot, which caused a lot of, like, self-hate. And now trying to be more social, and especially here on the interweb, I kind of feel like an all ball out, but maybe that's a good thing. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. I'm gonna go have a little midnight fire and eat some dinner. Um, I'll see y'all when I see y'all. And we'll see where this goes. All right. That's it. That's all. I'll talk to y'all later. Ta-ta now. And as always, be kind to yourself. Take care of yourself. And show yourself some love. All right. I'm going to read that to y'all since it's been sitting here. But this is something I wrote. I don't know where I saw this at, but I saw it somewhere. But it says, if you need to solve a problem, act. Contemplating the complexity of the problem simply creates excess potential and feeds the pendulum. Girl, that don't even make sense. And feeds the pendulum your energy. Okay, and feeds the pendulum your energy. And what I mean, like the pendulum of insecurity, of lack, of unwantedness. Roll with me, okay? Of just not a good pendulum. Okay. Um, and then it says, when you act, you realize the energy behind intention, and the hands do what the eyes fear to pursue. And the hands do what the eyes fear to pursue. Go with love. Um, I don't fully understand that yet. Maybe that's something I'm learning. Not like I don't understand what the fuck I read, but like I don't have any personal interactions that trigger a I've seen how that played out in my life, so that's to come, I guess. Anyways, go with love. All right, ta ta now.